The new Amazon reality in 2023 keyword battlefield strategy. Yeah, let's start with
Yeah,
conquer the keyword battlefield.
yeah, that's great. Um, so I want to start with just talking about the new Amazon Reality, which basically has, a lot of keywords that you can get from lots of tools. Like you have Brand Analytics from Amazon, gives you thousands of keywords. You have tools like Helium 10, Jungle Scout, Data Dive. Like there's so many keywords that you have. It's almost like too many keywords to pick from. So this whole strategy, started when we were like, okay, how do we figure out which of these keywords are important for us and which ones are not that important but are still you know words that everybody else is ranking for? So how do we go about sorting these keywords out into buckets and using the right techniques to bid on them? So that's how our strategy came about. But we also realized that some of the keywords that we actually do want to rank for, those have a lot of competition, right? There's CPCs are rising. When you try to rank for them, there's already like 50 products that sell exactly the same type of product that you're selling. And then how do you get to the top? Like when you launch a new product, you are basically nowhere. Like you have no visibility. So what do you do? Do you spend a lot of money to get to the top? How long can you stay there, right? So it's a lot of that. And then, we've noticed that sellers these days have a lot of compression in their margins, right? Amazon is taking more and more of your share. And if you're using software tools and agencies and all of that adds up, right? All is taking from your profits, and people have limited budgets. So how much is left over for ads? Probably a very small amount, which is also very tight, right? So how do you manage all this? And then you've also noticed that organic spots are much lower on the page now. Most of these ones in red are ads, right? Ads show up higher because that's how Amazon is designing their layout. They want people to click more on ads because they make money with every click, right? So given that the organic spots are much, much lower, how do you even rank? Like, what is the meaning of ranking? Like, is it worth it? Like, is it not worth it? Well, I would just like to summarize and say, ranking for keywords is super important. You may not actually see the number one rank high enough, but the fact that you're ranking on page one itself will help you win those top spots for a much cheaper CPC. So it's always a good investment of your time to figure out which keywords you want to rank for. And during the day, this layout changes so many times. Like sometimes you're on top, sometimes you're not. But it's important to have a push towards making sure that your keywords do rank as high as possible on page one, which is where all the sales happen.
Sorry to interrupt, just a quick 5-second message. If you're finding this video valuable, please consider subscribing to our channel for more helpful content. Also, don't forget to check out the video description below and the first pinned comment for useful Amazon FBA resources. Thank you for your support, and now let's get back to the video.
So let's talk about our keyword
Quick
battlefield
question, Ritu.
strategy.
This is
Yeah,
this
sure.
is a little bit off topic, but all the examples that I see when people really, showing that the sponsor that's taking a lot of the organic space in the search result, like this is mainly they show like desktop examples, like the screenshot that you show. On mobile, I know it's also kind of the same kind of trend, but obviously they cannot really show so many ads there as they show in desktop. How is that different? Like as far as the placements there, because from my data, from my accounts as a seller, we don't really see a big shift between the ratio of the organic sales to the sponsored sales. And it's actually weird because you're right on desktop, like what you like until you see the first organic search result, you have to really scroll. It's below the fold. So
Right.
curious to see what is your take about like mobile versus desktop in this topic.
Yeah, I think an easy way to check what your ratio of sales coming from mobile versus desktop is to look at your business report. They will be able to give you sessions by mobile, sessions by desktop, so you'll be able to see what the breakdown is. But in any case, desktop isn't zero, right? It's a pretty substantial amount, and that's where all the ads are showing up, right? Even though they can't show that many on mobile, there's other ways. They will slip in ads. They will give you suggestions. Those are sponsored. Yeah, even till the point you are exiting the shopping cart and about to make your purchase, even then they will show you ads. So there's no dearth of spots for showing ads to you. So it's going to be more and more that, right? So I guess we want to plan for both, right? We want to plan for desktop and mobile and take the whole consolidated mindset where ranking becomes an important topic. So this keyword ranking strategy or keyword battlefield strategy is basically, as I said earlier, that we want to rank for keywords while still remaining profitable. That's the goal, right? It's not just ranking keywords. We want to be profitable and we want to sustain our budgets for a longer time, right? So imagine you are standing on a battlefield with thousands of keywords in this direction and that direction, every direction there's keywords, and all of these lands, this battlefield, it's been occupied by other competitors. Like everybody's taken some spot on the battlefield, and you're a new entrant, and you want to capture those lands and take them, for yourself, right? That's the scenario in which literally we're all walking into this non-virgin land. They're all kind of taken. So, what do we do? How do we rank it? Now, there's been many, many ways to steal the top position. Over time, like people have come up with so many different strategies for, taking market share from their competitors. And I'll share some of those strategies with you, like over time. This is what it looks like, right? We had the days of external traffic, sending super URL traffic to product listing pages. And I don't know if you remember this, but it's at least 6 years old, right? This strategy where it was so easy to just stuff keywords into a URL, a super URL, and send traffic there, and people would, rank just based on training the algorithm in a. It's almost like search engine manipulation, which is why Amazon shut it down, right? They said no to this. Then came the age of search, find, buy, where you would send a bunch of people to the Amazon search bar and say, search for this, and then find my product and then buy it. Again, that's also under the radar, and it's not kosher at all. So what else do you do if these two are out? So there's different strategies for keyword graduation that came up, right? So you start with an auto campaign, then you discover keywords and you add them to manual campaigns, and slowly you start building your list of keywords. Now as you went along and you got more and more tools giving you actual keywords that other people are ranking for, you were like, okay, I don't even need to do this slow process of discovering from auto. I can just start with exact matches. Why not? So then that phase came where people said, okay, I'm just going to start with exact match launch. And then later on, I'll add auto campaigns or broad phrase and exact when, some relevancy is built up, but I'm training the algorithm myself. I'm taking it in my own hands. So that became another strategy. Then Amazon released the placement multipliers, right? Those bid modifiers. So then people started creating ranking strategies, which was, put some very limited number of keywords in a campaign, put a heavy placement modifier on it, and make sure that it always shows up on top of search. And that way, because those placements have the highest conversion rate, you're basically able to train the algorithm to think that these keywords are the right keywords. And so you just do it for a limited set of keywords, and that's how that strategy played out. But then people started saying, okay, this is too expensive. Like I have no money left. Like I'm just bidding so high on top of search, I have no money left. Then came the multi-level bidding strategy where you're setting aside some budget for those top of search campaigns, but then you also have the same keywords in different campaigns with a lower budget so that you can actually kind of attack both. But then this becomes a little complex. This strategy works, but it becomes a little bit complicated because you have to manage the same keyword and duplicate campaigns, and it can be
I agree. That's what we're facing right now because
yeah.
you're totally right. We're trying to rank for a really high search volume keyword, but it's too expensive with the top of search multiplier that we're using. But we see good results, but we're limiting it with budget. then we have separate campaign with a lower budget that run throughout the whole day.
Correct. Yeah.
But it's all
Yeah.
of yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that multi-level bidding strategy that you're talking about, it has its advantages, but the disadvantages or the limitations are that it can be pretty complex. And if you're using any kind of software, that software will try to take it in a different direction from what you're imagining, right? If it's doing well at the top, it'll try to bid it higher. If it's doing well at the bottom, it'll try to bid it higher. And so then you lose that band, top of search versus rest of search. So anyway, so that's the list of strategies. Now all of them have their pros and cons, and what we came up with, the keyword battlefield ranking strategy, was using the best of all these different strategies, and we came up with these definitions. So our strategy is basically dividing up all those keywords that you see, the thousands and thousands of keywords. We're splitting them up into 3 buckets, right? Very simple. So goal keywords, these goal keywords are the ones that have very high search volume, and it's almost impossible for you to rank on day one. Impossible, right? You can't just do it. Like, it's just very difficult. There's so many players in the market. They're bidding higher. You don't have relevancy, blah, blah, blah.
Unless you
So,
do 200 search find buys a day.
right? So that's not going to work, right? So goal keywords are the ones you identify as, okay, these are keywords that I want to eventually rank for. I'm not going to be able to do them today. I want to eventually rank for them. You set them aside, okay? Then you look for stepping stone keywords. These are long tail keywords with medium search volume, and these are easier to rank. You'll have to find them carefully by eliminating competitors who are also ranking for them. So you'll have to try and find the sweet spot of where competitors aren't ranking as much. Search volume is decent, it's long tail, and it contains some of the words that you've identified as gold. So including the gold keywords in the long tail keyword, that's the stepping stone keyword that we identify. And then you have this third category, which most people ignore, and this is related keywords. Now, related keywords are not keywords that are absolutely describing your product perfectly, but these are somewhat similar to the product that you are describing. And Amazon actually uses this internally with loose match campaigns. So when you try automatic campaigns with loose match targeting, this is what they actually do internally, which most people ignore, right? When they're harvesting, they're only harvesting the best. They're not harvesting the loose matches. They're just leaving them alone, right? So what we've done is we've said, okay, let's identify what related words are there, so that they might give us some entryway to the goal keywords. Now let me show you what the battlefield looks like. Something like this, right?